We're glad for the Summer Food Service Program and Libraries. With us today, we have Stacy Feltz from the Child Nutrition Program Specialist, Arizona Department of Ed. She's also worked for the St. Mary's Food Bank and the Arizona Science Center. In addition, we have Andrea from the Guadalupe branch of the Maricopa County Library District. She's the branch manager there and has worked in libraries for over 7 years and offers summer meals at her location. So I'm glad you're here to learn more about how your library can fight food insecurity in your community and find out if your library would be a good location for some extra meals to help those hungry kids. So take it away, Stacy.
Thank you, Donna, for facilitating this webinar. I am very excited to be here. Like you've already said, my name is Stacy Feltz, and I am a Child Nutrition Program Specialist with the Arizona Department of Education. My main focus is summer food. And so what I hope today to present on is what summer food is and how libraries can become more involved in our program leading up to summer 2020. So first, we have to talk about what summer food is. Sometimes there's some misconceptions, so we're just going to keep it easy. Summer food is a federal program that provides free meals to children in low-income areas. This program operates from the second that school gets out to the second that school resumes, and it operates statewide. Since it is a federal program, it also operates nationwide. I wanted to provide some clarification on exactly how it's facilitated and administered. We, the Department of Education, we report to the USDA, and that's where our funds come from. We are then responsible for working with our sponsors, and those are big organizations like school districts and food banks and other nonprofits who then have sites such as libraries. I wanted to also demonstrate how summer food impacts our state. So I provided the data for 2018 and 2019. We did experience some increase in some snacks from 2018 to 2019, but overall we did have a decrease in the number of meals served. Although 3 million being the total seems like a lot of meals, we still are underperforming. We only reached 12.6% of those qualified during the school year compared to summer food. So of all the students that could have been reached during the summer and that were reached during the school year, only 12.6% of them participated in summer food. So we have lots of areas for growth. We hope to reach more students as we move forward because free meals are always helpful, and these students don't stop being hungry when it comes to the summertime. I also wanted to provide an insight on the growth that we've experienced with libraries. So I provided data from 2017, 2018, and 2019, and we've seen huge, wonderful growth. Coming from 2017, we only had 6 libraries that participated in summer food. And all the way up to 2019, we're up to 31 libraries serving over 42,000 meals. This is substantial, and this is really exciting for our program and for ADE. And we hope that by reaching out to the community, more libraries will come on summer food and only further increase our participation in the number of meals that we're serving. Now, I'm sure you're sitting here and you're saying, okay, Stacy, this is a lot of data. How does this apply to me, and why is summer food and libraries, why are they a good match? Well, libraries are already the ideal location. You already have children that are coming to your location. They're participating in enrichment that you provide. Your theme next year is Imagine Your Story. This is wonderful. You're going to have families coming in. You might as well feed them. Libraries are also safe, and they're a familiar environment. You're a trusted environment for the community. And your children, like I said, they're already there. And so libraries and summer food, they share the similar mission of serving the underserved. It's a perfect location for summer food. Now, you're also probably thinking, okay, you're right, we have a great location. All of the children are already coming here. We're giving them wonderful programming. How do I participate? So libraries traditionally participate as a site. Sites have a lot less responsibility than their sponsors, and they just provide a safe space during the summertime, which you're already doing. You'll be providing meals for children's age 0 to 18, and we encourage you to have activities which you also are already doing. Now I'm going to turn it over to Andrea, as she is very familiar with summer food at a library. Andrea, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. So, the first step in getting the ball rolling on this program was assessing what was occurring in the community and our needs. Um, you may have done that already. You've identified that you are interested in providing a lunch program during the summer reading time. Now, for us in particular, we knew that the one community school in the town of Guadalupe was experiencing budget cuts enough to where they were no longer going to offer their summer food program at the school. So, having identified that, we knew that we would need to step up and assist with doing so. So, we started doing that research, went to the USDA website in order to find the agencies and organizations who they partner with, who the USDA partners with, in order to actually apply and get that program started here. So we a couple of challenges that I would take a look at initially included space and staffing. If you have a particularly small library space, just be sure that you will need to take a look at that because you will need to house a refrigerator. It could be like the regular tall refrigerator or more of the like those lower to the ground freezer type, but it is a refrigerator. So they do have two types that, so just plan accordingly in your space if it is already limited. And I would be prepared to have at least one dedicated staff member available during the setup, the meal distribution, and the cleanup. So while a staff member is always available, it is a good learning opportunity for an intern or a responsible volunteer because it's a nice program from start to finish for one to be able to do. So we've used both in the past, and both instances have worked well with having an intern and having a responsible volunteer. And then just another thing to keep in mind, depending on your location, there are some mandates and parameters that do need to be enforced when the meals are distributed. So just be sure to have that clear and open communication with your patrons and your customers, your library users who come in and participate in this program, since it is a federally funded program. So just be sure that your staff knows what to look for, what these parameters are, so that everybody is clear about that. Now, in terms of finding a sponsor, again, there are a lot of agencies out there that will help you. In our particular case, again, knowing that the school was not going to be a resource, we went onto the USDA website and we connected with St. Mary's Food Bank Alliance, completed the application. They were great in providing the assistance, especially the first time around when we got going. I know there are other agencies that offer similar programs. So if it's not specifically a direct partnership with the USDA, you may want to look for some alternatives. And in terms of the benefits to this community, we identified a need and we filled this gap, even though it's not traditional to libraries. That's okay. We are evolving. So I think doing this in the summer really allowed for some seamless integration with our summer reading program goals. So we've had passive and active programs, including streaming and listening to e-audiobooks, putting in some audiobook CDs, having volunteers read books during this time. We've had some readers theater. We've shown videos, specific to the SRP theme. And ultimately, this also increases the adults that bring youth. So we're able to have these conversations with the adults and let them know what is going on in our library, give them our calendar. If there are certain things that we want to highlight, just having these casual but nice conversations with adults again to let them know what else is happening in the library. And yeah, we did see an increase in our numbers from the summer, and these, people who were coming in bringing their kids, to eat lunch, they would come in and actually participate in programs and bring their kids and use the computers, and they are becoming regulars and we get to know them. Thank you.
That was so wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. St. Mary's is actually one of our biggest sponsors, and I'm really glad that you found such a good partnership that works for your library. So we are going to go ahead and move forward into details about becoming a site such as Guadalupe Library. Sites are required to have a sponsor, just like Andrea has mentioned, and ADE can assist you with looking for a sponsor. So we have opened up a SurveyMonkey specifically for interested libraries who listen to this webinar. We can provide that link to you with the webinar. You'll just fill out that information. It will come to me, and then I will work on pairing you with a sponsor. Sites also have to be area eligible, and it is the sponsor's responsibility for verifying that, but I am going to cover what area eligibility means just so everybody is on the same page. So in our program, when we refer to area eligibility, we are referring to the free and reduced percentage of the area that your site is located in or the census data. But typically we use the free and reduced percentage. You just have to be 50% or higher or be located in a census area where it's red, as you can see on the image here. Your sponsor is responsible for doing this in their application, but if you want to check beforehand before moving forward, you could always give me a call and we can walk through it together and verify it for you so you know exactly what your eligibility is. That way everybody is on the same page moving into the program. So what are the responsibilities of a site? Overall, the responsibility of a site is to serve the meals, make sure that they are following food safety rules, and completing the appropriate paperwork such as meal counts. It is your sponsor's responsibility to come out and train you prior to starting the program so that way you are familiar with all of the processes. They may say that you report the meal counts daily or weekly. You may scan them in, email them in, or they may physically come pick them up, but that's all the details that you'll work out directly with your sponsor. We, as a state agency, are just looking for appropriate food safety, making sure that you're serving a complete meal, that you're completing your meal counts, and that you're providing enrichment activities for the kids to partake in, which you'll already be doing. So how do you get involved? We are asking that you complete the SurveyMonkey by February 6, 2020. That is to ensure that I have all of your information ready before our annual training, which is being held on February 13th of 2020 in Glendale. We will continue to work with oncoming sponsors to bring on new library sites. So if I know who you are, when you want to participate, and how many kids you're looking to serve, I could provide that information to potential sponsors and work on matching you all up. Sponsors, like I've already mentioned, are required to train your sites annually, and they will work with you to prepare you and your staff for the summer food service, including all of the paperwork, your menus, your meals served, all of the smaller details. So at this point is the end of my portion. If you have any questions, I have provided all of the contact information. The first number is a general ADE line. If you call, you will get one of the specialists. But if you'd like to reach out to me directly, here's my line and my email, as well as both of my teammates. We are here for you. We are here for all of our sites and our oncoming sponsors, and I hope to hear from many of you soon.
That is, you bet. That's so great, Stacy and Andrea. Thank you so much for sharing. I did have a couple questions myself. Andrea mentioned having to have a fridge. Is that a specific requirement to her sponsor? Do all sponsors require a site to have a fridge?
That's a really great question, and that is going to be sponsor dependent. Some sponsors may provide you with hot meals and all of the items that come with that. They may drop off a cooler full of ice and milk. So it really just depends on the sponsor and your needs. St. Mary's, sometimes they'll even provide fridges to their sites depending on the general needs of the community and who they're working with.
That's great. And are there other types of programs besides summer meals that libraries could get involved in?
Absolutely, great question. So I also work with another program which is called the At-Risk After School Program, and it is very similar to summer food in the idea that you're serving meals, but you're serving meals after school and during the school year. Libraries can act as a site, and they will fall under a sponsor just like summer food. As mentioned before, St. Mary's is another one of our big sponsors, and they do at-risk all year round. And we have several other sponsors who also do at-risk all year round. Same idea, same meal count, same enrichment. The only stipulation we have with enrichment is that it can't be just organized sports. There should be some sort of activity, tutor time, homework help, arts and crafts, anything that the kids could do besides competitive sports.
That is great information. Thank you so much, Stacy. And Andrea, did you want to add any final thoughts?
I do want to say that we've been doing this for a few years now, and it it does become like a science. You get used to it, so it's definitely worth it. Again, we identified a need, we are filling it, and we are using it to our advantage in terms of outreach. Again, talking to adults to bring in their little ones and participate in programs and just be able to share what it is that we're doing and just change that perception of libraries in particular.
That is great. I think libraries do so many amazing things, and if this is something your community needs, it can really reach a new audience, but it also helps your community think of the library as the best place for all their resources. We are really going to take over the world soon. So thank you so much, Stacy and Andrea, for joining us on this webinar. If you have any questions, please reach out to Stacy to set your library up as a summer meal site. Have a great day.